Just a quick spoiler warning for all you gamers who haven't played the new remake up to around Chapter 3. If you continue watching this video, you might see some characters that you haven't met yet, so yeah, just watch at your own warning. I've let it be known. You might see some spoilers, so yeah, there you go. Hey everybody, and welcome back to another video on my channel. If you've been subscribed to me for a while, or you've been following my Twitch, or you follow me on Twitter, or you joined the Discord, also shout out those social medias that are down below, you probably associate my channel with these very long, scripted, narrated videos that take a long time to produce. Your 100% run videos, your 100 days, videos like that. I've been thinking about experimenting with a different type of video that could exist smack dab in between those. They still take a little bit of effort to make and edit, but they just don't take as long to, write a script and edit and figure out how I want to present the information, if that makes sense. And the first video I could think of is a tier list. I love watching tier list videos, and I think a lot of other people agree that they're fun to make and they are fun to watch. So that was the first one I thought of. I'm going to preface this video by saying all of these tiers, all of these placements are entirely my opinion. After playing this game for so long, I obviously have some biases into which characters I like and which characters I don't like. And another warning, I will be also putting these characters in tiers on my experience with them in this game and in the original. So if you've just played the original and you don't know what I'm talking about for some reasons, it's probably, related to my past experience like on the GameCube. So yeah, there it is. There's my preface. Let's actually get into ranking some of these characters. I thought it was pertinent to start with characters that aren't human, I guess, your sprites, and of course, 𝗵𝗲𝗵𝗶. These characters who, although they're fun, they're not really, you don't interact with them too much, and they're just fun little cute characters that the devs at Marvelous have included. So I think a great way to start is with an instant S tier, and that's 𝗵𝗲𝗵𝗶, even with all the human characters and these non-human characters kind of being in their own category. I think 𝗵𝗲𝗵𝗶's still S tier, and he's just the fluffiest, cutest boy, and if he's not in S tier, then I don't know where he should be. So yeah, 𝗵𝗲𝗵𝗶, easy S tier for me. And then moving right along into A tier, I feel like Jack is a great example of an A tier character, at least for me. I always kind of associated myself with him because he's the shortest one. I always liked the color blue. So especially when I was a kid, I was like, okay, he's my favorite sprite. So definitely A tier. Not good, and he's not 𝗵𝗲𝗵𝗶 S tier, but he is an easy A for me. And really the only difference between Flat and Ace is that I just never liked Flat. I don't really associate him with anything other than being a little bit bland. At least Ace, albeit annoying, has some character to him, so I just, Ace is B and Flat is C. But let's finally move on to some real humans that we talk to a lot in this game, and we're starting off with Carter. Carter, for a lot of people, he's not D tier just yet. I'm just putting him up here to talk about him. Carter, for a lot of people, he's not somebody that you talk to a lot. Especially when I was a kid, I never cared about Carter, but when I did my 100% run, and the more I see him in Story of Seasons: A Wonderful Life, the more I'm convinced that he's F. He's an F tier character. I mean, I don't know about the cutscenes if they included them in the new remake, but he's kind of like sexist. And his, some of his cutscenes are very problematic in the original. And although they might have removed him in the remake, my opinion of him will be forever scarred by some of these cutscenes and how he treats Flora. So, what a great segue. Let's go Flora next. I think Flora for me is A tier. She's close to S tier for me. If she was a bachelorette in the remake or in the original, I think that would have pushed her up into S tier, but she is the one character in the new remake that I wish they added as a bachelorette. She's a bachelorette in Harvest Moon DS, and I think it's an interesting choice that Marvelous chose to bring in a new bachelor to even out the 4 girls with Lumina, Cecilia or Celia, Muffy, and Nami. And they added Gordy. I don't think it would be so hard to just add in, like, you know, Flora and, like, maybe Daryl. Where's Daryl? There he is. You could add in Daryl and just be like, okay, make him a little more, you know, conventionally attractive like they did with Marlon, aka Matthew, right here. And just add him as a bachelor. He would be a fun little zany guy, but okay. This is a tangent on what I think they should have done, when really we're talking about Carter and Flora. Carter, easy F tier. I think he's not the worst character in the game, but for now he'll be an F tier. Flora's an A tier because she's great, and but she's not a bachelorette. She's just close. I kind of want to put her there, but I can't. I just can't. So speaking of bachelorettes, let's start with our first bachelorette that we get to rank, Cecilia. For those of you who have watched my streams and have been following me for a while, this won't surprise you, but for a lot of new players who Cecilia is really the one they push you towards as the farm girl who's like really down to earth and yada yada yada. I can see how Cecilia is the favorite for a lot, but for me, C tier. Cecilia is a average character for me. I don't know why I feel this way. She's just never been a bachelorette that I've wanted to get my character married to at all. She's just kind of there, and maybe it's just like a subtle, like, they're pushing me towards her, so the more they're like saying, hey, get with her, she's a farm girl, I'm like, no thank you. I go the opposite direction. So Cecilia for me, Celia, is C tier, and that might be a hot take, but for me that's easy. That's easy C tier. And Chris, our next character, is great. I think this slots in perfectly in B tier. I mean, she's not A. I know a lot of people love Chris, and I think a lot of people, when they first started playing the game as kids on the GameCube, they're like, I want to marry Chris because she's a cool character. She has a great character design, and they are irreconcilably upset when they figured out she was married to Wally. So she's a fun character. I like her character design, and she doesn't repulse me as much as Cecilia. That's a really aggressive thing to say, but B tier, easy for me. Daryl, our little science man. I feel like Daryl has got to be S tier, just with his fun cutscenes, how useful he is as a villager, and as once you befriend him, what you can get from him. That seems a little bit weird and sociopathic. I'm only gonna be friends with you because you can get me cool stuff. No, but his cutscenes are great. He adds the most color to the valley, in my opinion, just with how wacky he is. And yeah, easy, along with Muku Muku, an easy S tier character. I don't even consider putting him in any other tier. But let's move on to Galen, aka Gary, I think is his name in the remake. Or there's Gary, Gordy, and Gavin. And Gavin is Griffin, but I'm gonna call him Galen because that's what I know him as. Galen, for me, I think B tier is, I like him more than Chris, just because of his utility, what he gives you eventually in the game, and honestly, I feel bad for him. This might be a pity B. He could easily be a pity A or a C. I think he's on the, you know what, he's on the line, so let's put him below Chris. I think eventually when I'm done with this list, I'll go back and maybe do some reordering as if I see that everything's just wrong. But for now, we'll keep him bottom of B, like B minus ish. I don't think he's C or C plus. So Galen, B minus. All right, Gordy. Now this one is a big one. Gordy, a character who was Cody and was really changed in the remake to make a bachelor, a new bachelor. For me, I think Gordy, aka Cody, is at the top of A tier. He is an A plus tier character. I want to put him in S, but I think he's objectively the best bachelor. He's the least weird, the least annoying, and I think he has the most redeeming qualities out of any of the Bachelor. He's an artist, he's strong and silent, and he's not too bothersome. So I wish they would have kept him as being like more brawlic like he was in Cody in the original. That would have been an easy S tier, but since he's kind of slimmed down, they made him a little bit more boyish. That's an A+. A+ tier Bachelor for me. All right, let's go with Grant. For those of you who, I said spoilers, Grant is a character you encounter in Chapter 2, and his utility in the original is he gives you the alarm clock just after a cutscene, which is a very useful item. But Grant's pretty forgettable for me. I think there's a game that you can play with him. You can play the milk drinking contest in the original, and in the remake, you can play the cooking contest with him. Excuse me, I had to burp, but I stifled it. So other than that, he's pretty forgettable. I think D+ right now is a good place for him, at the top of D, maybe even at the bottom of C. But just with how forgettable he is, I don't really feel any certain way about him. I think D+ is good for now. As we move on to Griffin. Griffin, my gut is to put him in B, just below Galen. Another B-. I mean, I wish they added him as a bachelor. I just want all the bachelorettes and bachelors. Everybody who is of marriageable age and is single in this valley, I want to have the option to marry them. And I think if Griffin was a bachelor, it would move him up into A, but he's not. And other than being the Bluebird Cafe, sorry, it's a cafe now. I'm gonna call it the Blue Bar. Other than owning the Blue Bar and having a guitar, he doesn't really do much, but I like his character design. He's not annoying. You get some cool cutscenes with him, so we'll consider him B-, just below Gary/Galen for now. And now we have Gustafa. I know a lot of people in the original games, Gustafa was the only good bachelor, even though he wasn't that great. For me, he's number 2 comfortably. I think I would put him above Chris. I think his character design's fun. I think he's pretty chill. And other than that, I don't have much to say. His cutscenes are pretty funny. And the remake with how much he sings and just his bars. Man's got bars for days. So I think a comfortable B+ is good for now. And if he needs reordered, he'll be reordered. Dr. Hardy, a.k.a. Baddock, a.k.a. the guy with the eye. For me personally, Dr. Hardy's an A- tier character. Just his character design. As you can see, I like the characters that add color to the valley. They add a little bit of je ne sais quoi. I don't speak French, but whatever that means. He's just... Who would even think about making a doctor that wears flip-flops, wears boxers, and has a metal eye? His cutscenes are funny just because of the things that he has a metal eye. It's crazy, and it's just wacky, and I love it. So bottom of A tier for now, I think is a good place for Baddock. And as we move on to Hugh, younger version, there's 2 characters which kind of change versions. It's Hugh and Kate. I'll do this right now. Hugh and Kate, their younger versions are F tier, easy for me. They are just so annoying, and maybe this is a little telling of how I feel about children. I like children. I feel like eventually, if I have kids, I will like them because they're mine. But other people's kids, I'm like, get that little sniveling brat away from me. And that's that's a great way to describe them. Hugh and Kate, they're brats, and they annoy me. So easy F tier character, young Hugh and young Kate. I don't like them. I just don't. I wanna take Hugh and like drop kick him. Not so bad with Kate, but Hugh's definitely. You know what? Hugh will go towards the bottom because Kate's not too bad. I think Kate's better than Carter, but yeah, Hugh is oh my god, awful. But I think we can easily put Teen Hugh into D. I think he's more memorable than Grant, but he's not C. He's worse than Celia in my opinion, and he's still annoying, but less so. But Kate, I think, is just a little bit less annoying than him when she's a teen. So we'll throw Kate in C minus, or C. If Celia is C plus, she's C. So there's the Kate and Hugh tiers for young and teen. Now we have another character that personally I think belongs in F tier, and that is Patrick, and if I can get his brother, Casey. Other than the games that they play, which, I mean, again, my bias for these characters is kind of seated in the original as well. The game, it was so hard, and it pissed me off so many times when I was a kid. I was like, screw these guys, they suck. But also, if you have listened to their dialogue when in the original, I'm pretty sure they got rid of it in the remake, they're really into young girls. And although they removed it from the remake, my opinion, my first impression of them is always, you guys are weird. You guys are weird, man. And for that reason, I think they go below Hugh. Hugh's annoying, but he's not a pedophile. So easy F tier for these two boys. Yeah, I think that's fair. All right, Lumina, bachelorette number 2 of this video. For me, I've never had the experience of Lumina being a bachelorette. I always played the original. She was always just a child for me. But in the remake, I feel like her cutscenes are pretty boring. There isn't much that you learn about her other than that she has mommy issues, she plays the piano, and that she likes you and is jealous of other girls. So for that reason, I feel like she is just below Celia in a comfortable C. I think Celia's just a little bit less, tragic. And I only see her as a child. So that's just one guy's opinion on that. So yeah, C tier for now. Matthew. Oh, Matthew. Where do I put you? I think for Matthew, it's gotta be the top of D. I've never been a fan of Marlon in the original. He also has some misogynistic tendencies, should we put it that way. They made him cuter in the remake, but he's still like a little, much like Hugh, he's kind of bratty. Like he's like, I like Celia so much, but she doesn't like me. Blah, blah, blah. And I'm not down with that. I don't care how cute they make you. You will always be Marlon in my eyes a little bit, and that bias will never go away. So Marlon is comfortably in D plus for now. Molly, aka Muffy, the viewer's favorite from the original Seer 100% run. Molly for me, I think is B. I want to put her in A minus, but I think strictly as a bachelorette, as an option, I think she's one of the best. Obviously. Let's do it right now. We can talk about Nami and Muffy in conjunction. Nami's S tier for me. She's the one that was always played hard to get, and I like a challenge. If you've seen my videos, you know I like a challenge. So there you go. That's why Nami's an S tier. And she's even above Daryl for me. So yeah, and that's how I think of these two in conjunction, especially all the bachelorettes. Lumina's not as good as Celia. Celia's not as good as Muffy. Muffy's not good as Nami. But I like Flora a little bit more. If Flora was a bachelorette, she would be an A, and Muffy's a B, like just at the top of B. So yeah, Muffy is a solid B plus tier waifu for your boy. Pooey, aka Murray. If this was just, I combine them. I know, like, canonically they're not the same person or whatever, but I will still combine Pooey and Murray into the same person. And for me, I think they are Ooh, I want to put B. I want to say B. I'm gonna say B. This is a gut. This is a soul read on 𝗂𝗵𝗲/Murray. He's a fun character. In the original, he has a lot of fun cutscenes that he's just a menace in the valley. I think he's a little toned down in this one, but I like his new character design. It's very cute, very fun. Yeah, I think I gotta put him like right in between. He's a comfortable B even. He's not a B- like Griffin for me or a B+. He's a comfortable B character. I like him a lot. Nina, our girl. I think I have to put. I gotta put her in S tier. If you know, you know. Gone too soon. She's the best, the cutest character. She has some amazing cutscenes that you get to see in the original, and I just think it's sad that this is okay. This is a pity S tier. This is a pity S tier. If I'm being more objective, I think you have to put her in like C, because there isn't enough of her that you get to see. But for the memes, S tier Nina. Rock. Now Rock, this might shock you guys. Rock is comfortably A-. I think as a bachelor, he kind of sucks. Like if you're looking to marry a male character in the game, he's not the best man, if that makes sense. Like he's not gonna get up early and take care of the crops, or be super supportive. He kind of just wants to vibe out. And as a bro to another bro, I dig it. I'm down with it. And I just think his cutscenes are hilarious. His character design is fun. And as a bachelor, Gordy's obviously better, but Rock just he's not B. He can't be below A for me. He can't be B. And if that's how it is, he's got to be at least A. He's not S, obviously, but he's a comfortable A- for me. I think he's funny. And you know what they say, you get the boys laughing. He's got the whole squad laughing. Romana. Ooh, that's a big one. She gives you a cat. So I think for that, she's got to be at least C tier. I think she's better than Kate. She gives you a cat, and I don't know if she gives you a watering can in the remake, but she did in the original, in that watering can. And specifically in Special Edition and Another Wonderful Life is very valuable. Saves you a lot of time. But I don't think she does that in this version. So she's a pretty forgettable character. I mean, I kind of just like give her gift and then get what I need from her and then forget about her. So I think C- here is good. Yeah, I think that's a good place for her. Lou, aka Ruby. In the original, I would have put her S tier because you can use the Ruby Spice glitch to get infinite money, which was always fun. In this version, she is, you know what? She's a great mom, and she still gives you a valuable item. I think for Lou, I think this is a good spot for her. You know what? She's very similar to Chris in my opinion. I like her character. She gives you a fun item. Some of the scenes with Rock are great. She's a great cook, you know what I mean? So a comfortable B tier for me. Samantha. Now, I feel the same way about Samantha that I feel about Grant. She just doesn't give you a nice item. She has a decent cutscene, but she's overall forgettable. She's the mother to Kate, and like that's about it. She has some cutscenes that are fun, but at least in the remake, at least in the original, she's just a forgettable character, so D tier. For me, I like her character design. If she was a little bit more, charismatic, I could put her into C. But for now, D is a good place for her. Sebastian, my man. Sebastian, I think you can put him with Romana. They're joined at the hip. I'll put him above Romana because he has a couple funny cutscenes that I like. So there you go. All the Villa characters in a comfortable C tier. I think this is a poetic moment. Lumina's better than Sebastian. Sebastian's better than Romana, in my opinion. So I think that's a good spot for our boy Sebastian. Takakura, S tier. He's He's the GOAT. He's always helping out on the farm, even when, spoilers, our character dies. He's still there helping out our spouse, being the man, the myth, the legend. He takes all our unwanted animals and produce to the city, and he sells it for us. He's our guy. He's comfortably above Nina, and he's the man. I think that's an easy S tier. Tim, much like Sebastian, Samantha, and Grant, he's pretty forgettable. He's not like Lou, where I feel like she gives you an item. She's a great cook. He's kind of just the end guy. He's the end guy. He doesn't do it. Let's put him at like D+. I mean, I don't think he's that bad. But I don't think he's like C- in for me. So Lou, D+ character. Van the man. I think Van is, I want to put him in S-, but I think A+ is a good place for him. He gives us he has so much utility, obviously, as the only person who can sell things. You can play a game with him. He has great cutscenes. I've convinced myself he's the S- tier. You know what? I said A+, but just with who he is, all the cutscenes, and how I feel about him, getting all the money in the world from him. I mean, he's got deep pockets too. Like, he's got cash. So I feel like anybody who can run a money laundering scheme like Van can. He belongs in S tier. I think he does. I've convinced myself. Vesta, other than being the seed lady, is forgettable for me. I know there's a lot of Vesta lovers out there. I'm sorry. For those of you in my stream, there's a guy in my stream who followed recently called Vesta Lover. I'm sorry, Vesta Lover. I think Vesta is, I think she's just above the Villa trio. Villa trio. Kate's not in the Villa trio. Yeah, I think she's just above the Villa trio here. Lumina, Sebastian, and Romana. But for me, she's not more lovable than Celia, even not as a bachelorette. So there she is. And our final character of the of this part of the video is Wally. Wally, again, pretty forgettable. Unlike Chris, his paramour, I think he's just like his son Hugh. He's kind of annoying. He's always running around. You can't trust somebody this healthy. You can't trust somebody this healthy, good looking, has a job. I bet he has like jerk nails. You know what I mean? Like, he's just too put together. There's something wrong with him. So for that reason, bottom of D tier. He's not F. You know what? I'll put him right with his son. I think he's a little more memorable just because he starts up earlier than Grant and Samantha. But just like teen Hugh, kind of, I don't trust him. I don't trust those eyes. You know what I mean? All right, and that's my tier list. I've been looking at this for a couple minutes, and I think that this is perfectly fine. I think I hit the nail on the head. I don't think any reorders are necessary. If I was going to make any reorders, I think I would put Muffy into A-. That's really the only change I would make. I think maybe it's a little unfair to have her in B+. Having not a singular bachelorette in the A tier is maybe a little rude, but you know, we can put her in A-. She can chill there. She's not that bad. So yeah, that's my tier list. If you guys want to do this tier list yourself, I've left a link in the description, and you can share your opinions with me on Twitter or in the Discord. Share your images. That would be awesome. And we can have a calm and very courteous discussion. Like, let's say you put Nami in F tier. You know, you don't like her. I mean, I can understand, but you're objectively incorrect, and we can have a discussion about that. So yeah, I want to thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope you like this like different style. It's a little, like I said, it's not as intricate to think about for me to like write a script, but I think it's fun. If you like this style of video and you want to see more, make sure to hit the like in the thing, you know, hit like, you know, like all the YouTubers say, hit like, man. or leave a comment and say, hey, like this style of video is great. I want to see more. Things like that. Or just, subscribe and hit the notification bell. I'm going to put the little thing that I always put up in the bottom left corner to do that. That'd be awesome. It really helps me out, and it shows me that you guys are really liking my stuff. So with that being said, thank you guys so much for watching. All my social links are in the description if you want to follow me on Twitter, on Discord, or on Twitch. I stream Story of Seasons and Wonderful Life a lot, and on Twitter and Discord, I always post when I go live. There's also a lot of people on Discord who are in the UK, EU. They're up on all hours of the day, having fun playing the game, doing mods and stuff. It's a lot of fun in the Discord. So check those out if you want. Thanks so much for watching. I will see you guys in the next video.